Hello, everybody. I was about to make a comment about how class has been canceled due to poor weather, but we're in online class, so rain or shine, we're good to go. Everybody is safe in travels, though. In Pocatello here, it got half a foot last night, and a whole bunch of shoveling this morning for me. So, I don't have a whole bunch to talk about. I did want to spotlight a couple people who did good work and kind of say what I thought about what was good and preview some of the stuff that's coming up. But yeah, things are plugging along. Um, so Heather on the dissecting arguments, I thought did uh, was a good example. This one was tricky because actually overall you guys did well. For some reason, last time I taught this class, there were more people who mistook what should be underlined and what should be in parentheses, and not too many people did this time. But just making sure you got all of the things, making sure the underlying assumptions were not just repeating what the statement said, because it could be really easy to just say, well, if they say this, that must be that they assume that that's true, which I see what you're thinking with that, but that's not what the assignment was about. It's the underlying assumption being that it's not stated, it's underneath what's going on. So, yeah, that one was tricky. Creating an ad. Um, Again, I saw a lot of the Geico stuff. I've already talked about that. There were also quite a few people that didn't do the description of the students, of the audience, and so I decided on that one because I had kind of mentioned, I'm like, oh, I don't think that that's part of the thing that you actually describe. I think they may have changed that, honestly, in between when I last taught this and now. But if you did a Geico ad and didn't write that, I didn't give you credit. But if you did something besides a Geico ad and forgot to do that, I gave you credit because I had mentioned that. So, for the most part, though, it was pretty clear cut. But yeah, just the comments with this one, there was some issues with readability. This font color is hard to read against this background, but overall, I like kind of the message that it's sending. I could see it would make more sense as it is right here. I'm like, well, what is this for? What ad is this for? Coming at it without any kind of background, but I think in a publication it would be more just like, okay, this is not for necessarily anything, but just kind of a call for calm. So moving forward, I'm looking forward to the comic strips. I've heard some issues with getting that posted. The ethical dilemma and the revisions, peer review, peer feedback. Yeah, we'll see what that's going to be like. The big thing, though, for next week is the Trifles jury. Actually, coming up, there's going to be a number of ones that require a fair amount of reading. I think this week and then next week, like reading all of it and assigning all of it might be a little bit, or doing the assignment could require more time. So make sure you plan plenty of time for the reading. One more thing that I've noticed, I've seen that a couple people have posted their ads or their assignments in kind of the assignment description area rather than within the assignment itself. So make sure that you're actually in the assignment when you're doing that. Also, if you have trouble with something, I recommend you shoot me an email, because what might happen is, oh, I just tried this other thing and it works, or it actually did work, it just didn't seem like it worked. I say just if you're on time, you've done the work, you got to be sure to get credit for it. Because it happens sometimes where people post something, it doesn't actually work, and then later after the due date is passed, then they're like, oh, I really did do this. So make sure, I say not just for this class, for any class, when in doubt, send an email to the teacher posting your work. Like, hey, just to be sure, it may have worked, but just as a fail-safe, here's my work. So I always appreciate students. I don't know if other teachers get irritable about that, but I figured they can deal with that. You're not out of line. You're trying to get the work done and get credit for it. So, all right, good luck to you. Enjoy the snow. I'll see you guys around in the comments. Bye.